All right, let's get right into it. For what, a decade now, we've been calling them smartphones. But Samsung, they're trying to change the conversation with their new Galaxy S26. They're calling it an AI phone. Now, that's a pretty big claim, right? It suggests this is something totally different. So today, we're going to unpack what that actually means for you.
And to really get what they're aiming for, you have to start right at the top. This quote from TM Rowe, Samsung's head of mobile, basically lays out their entire philosophy. The goal isn't to hit you over the head with a bunch of complicated AI features you have to learn. No, the idea is that the intelligence should just work quietly in the background, making your life a little bit easier without you even thinking about it.
So, that's the real question, isn't it? It sounds great to talk about effortless AI, but what does that actually look like day to day? What are the real tangible things this phone can do for you? Well, we've broken it down into three main areas where this new AI really starts to make sense. First up, the idea of turning your phone into an assistant that doesn't just wait for you to ask for something, but actually anticipates what you need. The whole point here is to make all those little tedious tasks that we do every day just kind of disappear. I mean, just think about something as simple as ordering a ride. It's not one step. It's you gotta unlock your phone, find the app, open it, type in where you're going, pick the car, confirm the spot, tap, tap, tap. It's this whole little dance that pulls you out of whatever you were doing. And this is where it gets cool. That entire 5-step process you see here, it gets completely flattened. With the new Gemini AI built in, you can just say, book me a ride home, and the phone does all of that for you in the background. It's like you're delegating the whole task instead of doing it yourself. Here's another perfect example of this proactive thinking. You probably know Circle to Search, right? It was already an awesome feature on the S25. See something cool, circle it, search for it. Super simple. But it had a limit. You could only search for one thing at a time. And this is where that AI phone idea really clicks. Now, let's say you see a photo of an entire outfit you love. Instead of having to circle the jacket, then search, circle the shoes, then search. Now you just draw one big circle around the whole person, and the AI is smart enough to identify every single item for you. It's a huge time saver. And this kind of smarts is just woven into the whole system. You've got Now Nudge, which sees a text from a friend asking for photos from your trip and just pops them up for you. Bixby can finally just change a setting for you instead of just showing you where the setting is. And the Finder is brilliant. You can just search Madrid trip, and it'll pull up your tickets, your photos, your notes, everything. It connects the dots so you don't have to. Okay, let's switch gears to our second big theme, because AI isn't just about making you more productive. Samsung is positioning it as a creative partner, something that completely changes how you take pictures, edit them, and even create visuals from scratch. Now, for a little while now, Samsung has had something called generative edit, and it was pretty powerful, you know? You could move someone in a photo or get rid of a photo bummer, and the AI would cleverly fill in the background, but you were still just moving around what was already there. And this is the massive leap. We're going from just manipulating a photo to actually creating within it. You're not just moving pixels around anymore. You're using plain English to direct the AI. You can literally just type, add a birthday cake to the table, or make the sky look like a sunset, and the phone will just generate it. It's a total game changer for casual photo editing. This AI power also makes the camera hardware itself that much better. The S26 Ultra has this super wide f1.4 aperture on its main camera. All that means is the lens can physically let in way more light. So you combine that with a smarter AI that's way better at cleaning up that grainy look you get in dark shots, and the result is just dramatically better photos and videos at night. And the upgrades are all over the place. The Super Steady Video feature now uses the phone's motion sensors to lock the horizon so it stays perfectly level even if you're bouncing around. Audio Eraser, which is amazing for cutting out background noise, now works in other apps like YouTube, so you could literally silence a noisy crowd to hear a speaker better. It's incredibly useful. Of course, whenever you have all this powerful AI working for you, the next logical question is, what about privacy? So that brings us to our third theme, how the S26 is using new tech to protect you, both online and, in the real world. The big new feature here, and this is exclusive to the S26 Ultra, is something they're calling a privacy display. And no, this isn't one of those sticky screen protectors. This is brand new technology that's built right into the screen itself, designed to stop that super annoying problem of people snooping over your shoulder on the bus or in a coffee shop. And this little chart makes it really simple to understand.
When the privacy display is off, your screen looks totally normal to everyone. But the second you toggle it on, the view straight on for you stays perfectly clear and bright. But for anyone trying to peek from the side, the screen becomes totally garbled and unreadable. It's basically on-demand privacy. The software is getting a lot smarter about security, too. AI call screening can now actually ask an unknown caller what they want and give you a quick summary before you even answer. And there's a new scam detection feature that runs entirely on the phone, so it's totally private, and it'll give you a little alert if it thinks you're on the phone with a potential scammer. These are like little guardians working in the background for you. So, what kind of engine does it take to run this whole show? All of this AI magic doesn't just happen. So let's take a quick look under the hood at the hardware that's making it all possible. The really important thing to see on this chart is where the biggest jump is. Yeah, the new Snapdragon chip gives you nice boosts in the CPU and graphics, but look at the NPU, the Neural Processing Unit. That's the part of the chip that's dedicated to AI tasks, and it's getting a massive 39% performance boost. That's the engine driving all these features we've been talking about. Of course, more power usually means you need, well, more power. Samsung tackled that with Super Fast Charging 3.0. It can get you to a 75% charge in about half an hour. So the key isn't just about having all this performance, it's about minimizing the downtime you need to keep it going.
And to back that up, the Ultra model also gets a bigger battery, 5,500 milliamp hours. Plus, to make sure all that power doesn't make the phone get hot when you're really pushing it, there's a new cooling system inside that keeps performance stable even if you're gaming or editing 4K video. So if we boil it all down, what is an AI phone? Well, it really comes down to these four things. It's an assistant that tries to automate and anticipate what you need. It's a creative partner that helps you turn ideas into actual stuff. It's a guardian for your privacy, and it's all running on a specialized engine that's built specifically for AI. And that really brings us to the final thought here. Samsung is making a bet that the future isn't about having more apps, it's about having a phone that actively does things for you. So, as this tech gets better and better, the real question is, if you could hand off any annoying, tedious part of your day to your phone, what would be the very first thing you'd automate?